Hello, welcome back. This week you just get, well, not just, you're welcome. You get Melissa and I. The holidays are busy season, so we're acknowledging that. There'll be a couple less episodes this month, but we do have at least one guest already lined up who's awesome, also a native Chicagoan. So there'll be like lots of overlap, friend of mine, but Melissa and her will have things to chat about. So we'll get to her later in the month. But today we just wanted to come in to chat a little bit about thoughts that we've been having since our last month or so of recordings, and just as we're entering into the last couple months of the year, where we're headed, how we're feeling, and what we're doing to propel us into 2026.
A nice way to say all of that.
Well, something that I've been doing lately as a business owner of many businesses, I am always thinking about these things. But a conversation point that just keeps getting brought up, and it was timely that Taylor was on last to talk about money, but just this like relationship with the concept of not even just about like a dollar bill and like what that means, but like how our worth is tied to it, the kind of energy we put out there and like what we're expecting and hoping to receive from the universe, where we kind of get in our own way and limit ourselves and why. And I don't know, I've just been personally thinking a lot through a lot of these topics. And again, not just like in a financial standpoint, but I think we need money. It's at the bottom of everything. And then what that means in these bigger ways too. I was thinking maybe we could kind of start there.
Yeah. As you were talking, I was reminded of in part of the training that we do for my new teachers and residents and mentors is like this idea of enough and like what does that mean?
Mm,
And it's so funny because when we first ask people to, we basically have them play like this old-fashioned mash game. Remember that? Like we used to
yeah.
be like an apartment, shack, house.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I would like play it until I didn't get shack, like even as a child. Because I was like, absolutely under no circumstance, right? But this idea of enough sometimes isn't always tied to monetary things. So like you said, you do need money to survive, but like having enough can also talk about your emotional safety or your ability to just feel okay. And sometimes it is directly tied to money, right? But sometimes it also just means having access to things that maybe like it's so interesting when people hear the word enough, and a lot of people it is like money. They say like mansions or money or like
Food in my cellar or
exactly, or like
whatever.
accounts, right? Or whatever. And then some people were saying things like access to like healthcare and to like different things. So
Mm,
it is an interesting conversation around like what your enough is. And I think we always go back to this, right? It's like always going back to your values and like aligning your values, larger values, with like what enough might mean for you. And I think I would love to hear more because I know you're reading that book about like what
yeah.
does she say about how you can have enough, but also maybe be always thinking about what does enough mean, but also like how can we always move ourselves forward? Because I think there's a balance there between being okay with where you're at and also striving for more, or maybe striving for enough if you don't have enough.
Right, right. So I'm reading the book You're a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero. She also wrote like You Are a Badass. I think she's a couple in that series. But what I really liked about it is enough is relative. I mean, all our numbers are going to be different. All of our whatevers are going to be different. But she really gets into how as even as like I don't even know the right word for it. However, we would like to describe ourselves. If you're like not a capitalistic person, you still live in a capitalistic country, so like you have to play the money game, right? And so she talks about how like instead of money being this evil word or money having power or money being a thing that we have to have feelings about, it's just a part of the means to an end for whatever it is that we're looking for. So like she wants you to come up with mantras. So one of my big ones is like money is freedom, money is opportunity, and money is a chance for me to be able to be generous and like inclusive with my community. So those are the like statements I've chosen for that. Because if I want to take the trips and see the world, I have to have money. If I want to donate and like feed everybody on my block or buy dinner for my friends all the time or give people gifts, I have to have money. If I want to not be like a slave to a job and like have a work-life balance and have the things I need, then I have to have money. Now, my amounts and what I think is enough is relative to whatever you think is enough. But she's like, we got to get past this idea that money has so much power, because it doesn't. It's just like a thing, like it's not really anything. But it's more about our own worth that's tied to that. It's about our own beliefs about what the world and the energy in the world can give us, and it's our own frequency of where we vibe and who we want to vibrate around. So my new thing is, I'm really thinking about, what energy am I putting out in the world? What am I expecting and daring and wanting to show up for me, and like, how might it? And then who are the people that I'm hanging out with? And are they people who are like just like settling, and they're kind of like complacent and they're fine, or they're always worried and complaining and stressed about their own money? They're not going anywhere helpful, and it's not helpful for me, right? Like, I want to be in the room with the people that are like where I want to be, or who are up here. And again, these numbers and these types, they can all look different, but if the energy you're putting out is what you're going to get back, right? And one of the examples she gave, which I thought was so interesting, is like Jim Carrey, when he first started out, carried around a check in his wallet that he dated to himself for $10 million, like for acting services rendered. And he dated it like 4 years in the future. And he carried it everywhere he went. And he wasn't big then, so he would do little gigs and little things. And one month or a couple weeks or something before the date on the check is when he booked Dumb and Dumber and got paid $10 million for that part. And like, so if you say you don't, like, things don't energetically come back, like, you're an idiot. And you can call it whatever you want. You can call it God, you can call it energy, you can call it astrology, but we can make things happen. She has tons of examples like this. And it's not like it has to be $10 million, like you have to be famous or whatever. But he worked his ass off because it was like he needed that by that date. Like, there was no other option. Like, he was hungry. And as we're entering the new year, as we're thinking about it's a natural time to think about beginnings and goals. Again, it doesn't all have to center on money, but like, what are you hungry for? And what frequency are you vibrating at? And what are you missing because you're like just really comfortable in a way that actually isn't healthy, or allowing you or your family or your generational wealth and resources and legacy to live on? You're really keeping yourself stuck. I
love that example. I really do believe like the power of mindset, and just like that, like speaking things into the universe with setting intentions. Like, I do believe that's so powerful. It's like the same way that sometimes people that are just always like kind of negative and sour, like often you hear that people like that end up getting sick, or like have some kind of like ailment in their body, because there is something tied to your energy and your mindset and your outlook and your actual health, right? Whether it be mental, emotional, or physical. So I think it's super powerful. So I agree with that, and that's a really cool example. I think sometimes it can be hard for people, and I'm using myself as an example. That feels like such a far away, like lofty goal, or like that feels unattainable for a lot of people, right? Like $10 million. Like, what are we doing for our job that we have that ability?
Yep.
And I think sometimes I will use that as an excuse to then like not go out and like do the things, or like set the goals, because it's like, well, that feels really far away or whatever. But could it be like, okay, in this year, in 2026 or in 2028, I want to take a vacation to Greece, and like I want that to be my enough, or my abundance, or my check in my wallet that I carry around, right? And I'm making daily decisions with that end in mind, right? Like, lately I've been really conscious of, I know we talked last time that I've been doing a budget. Like, Eric got me on this, and he's like, you need to do this every month. Like, he was like, this is so ridiculous that anytime I ask you how much is in your bank account, you have no fucking idea. Like, that's insane. That's insane. Yeah. And so now it's become part of my monthly habit, is to like on the first, or today I did it today because I had my kids this weekend and it was Halloween and it was like a whole thing. But I knew that I was going to do it today no matter what, because that is my habit. It's part of my now like mindset and my just like awareness of money, and like me creating these habits for myself that serve me in a way that I want to be served, And I think even just like looking at my spending this month, I'm like, wow, I'm proud of myself that like my shopping went down, because I'm really trying to be like, okay, do I need to get that shirt on Amazon? Do I need to buy an outfit for the trip this weekend when I have a whole closet full of clothes that I wear like the same 5 things? No, I don't need to. I can, and then I won't maybe be able to do something else. So like I have to be able to put things in place and then make those moves that serve those goals like that I want to do. And so, sorry, that was a very long-winded way of saying like I agree with you, and I'm recognizing that I have some work to do in some of these areas for sure.
Yeah, and I appreciate she gives you exercises at the end of each chapter, and like talks through like the first step is imagining like what amount would you need to get like to take your trip to Greece, and then like meditating on you're there and you're flying first class and you're staying in this, and it's not, you don't have to worry about getting the extra bottle of wine at dinner and whatever, and like what would you do with it, and like be in it and like imagine it, and then hold those things while you're doing all the other stuff, because energetically there's like a purpose, there's a place for it. You're not just like, I want my random savings account to just be, that's like an endless hole of nothingness if we don't have a number there and a reason. If it's just like more in there, like what does that even mean, right? So I just appreciate this idea of like, I keep trying to vibe where it doesn't magically mean all these things are just going to show up like without work. It takes a lot of work, but I think it helps us take our goals and our actions and put them all in alignment of like, you're lying if you don't want more money. Because you want more experiences, you want more freedom, you want more comfort, you want more stability, you want to be more generous, you want to be more, you want more nice things. Like, I don't know, but like we can't get away from it, unfortunately. But again, it doesn't have to be this thing that has so much power. It is a means to an end for us to live the lives we want. And so like create the vision of the life you want, and then what needs to come with that to make that life happen, right? And it unfortunately comes with a dollar amount. You didn't want a shack, which meant you had to make a certain amount of money to live in a house or an apartment, right? And nothing is wrong with that, but like that is tied back to money, even if we don't want it to be, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I love that idea. I think that will help me just even in thinking about if my trip to Greece is quantifiable, then I'm kind of thinking on it and meditating on that amount. Even though that seems kind of weird, it does help kind of, I have that in the back of my mind, and I'm actually like working towards something that feels actionable rather than just like climbing the Stairmaster and not actually getting anywhere, because I'm just continuing going up and down and up and down and up and down. So I do
Right.
like, I like that idea. And yeah, I think there's a lot to be said about meditating and power of thoughts. And I think not enough people probably tap into that, myself included. So that's kind of giving me pause, I think, a little bit.
Right. And I don't know that I have either, because I'm always so like there's this weird scarcity thing that I can't get away from. And even though no, it doesn't mean be foolish or just buy everything, like you said, like that's a wasted, it's a renewable resource, but there's still only so much of it. So you can't have all the things. Like what do you want to do with it, and like how are you going to spend it? But I've told myself, like, I don't know, a few years, how many years has it been now? 6 years ago when I started my therapy practice, I was like, I want to buy myself a Chanel bag when I make X amount of money. And every year I've like raised that up. Like I've made the money I said initially, but I like haven't bought it yet. Cause I'm like, well, it wasn't enough. Like I need more, I need more. And I feel weird about spending $15,000 on a purse, as maybe I should. And also like didn't think twice when I bought my husband a Rolex for his retirement, which was more. Like it wasn't for me though. Like it was something about like, I don't deserve nice things. I can't have those. Like I didn't work hard enough yet. I'm not making enough. And so this year I'm like, this is the amount, this is the bag. I know which one I want. It's a classic one. I don't want a second hand. I don't want a fake one. I want to go into a Chanel store and I want to buy a real. Those are the parameters for me. I'm very clear on the what. And I want to do that in 2026 because
Like classic Chanel
the
bag.
black classic,
That would be what I would get
that's
too.
all I want. And I want the like not too
Because
big,
it's
not
timeless. It's
that's
timeless.
all
And
I
that's
want.
actually like, yeah, in some ways that's more of an investment than like just getting like a bunch of crap, like a bunch of clothes or crap that actually isn't like something that will hold its value and like probably be worth like just as much, than maybe even
Totally.
more when you buy it, you know? So that's interesting though about,
And there's something, but it's like about what it means
yeah.
for me, right? Like, and it could be, that's just the brand and the thing that like, because I have a hard time spending money on stuff where I could buy like another version of it that's just as good. Like I'm too practical for my own good.
Totally.
But I think it's a stretch for me to like acknowledge the hard work I've done. Again, money is a renewable resource. Like it's not that deep. I can figure it out. I can find a way to like find that amount for that.
Yeah.
And it's also elevating who I am, right? Like I don't always have to be someone who buys stuff on sale. I can, but I don't, that's not all. Like I'm allowed to buy full priced items too. You know what I mean? Like, and feel okay about it.
You
So
work really hard and you are allowed to celebrate your success in ways that feel good for you and in ways that feel like you're rewarding yourself. And I think this is a really interesting idea of why was it so easy? I mean, easy, I know it was still a lot of money, but like, why was that so easy for you to buy Taylor that watch for his retirement and so difficult for you to commit to making that large of a purchase for yourself? And I think it goes back to like women and just we are conditioned and sort of socialized to not to feel guilty and selfish for things that serve us only and have no other purpose other than it makes you feel happy.
Yeah.
We are told that that's wrong. Particularly, I think there's the intersectionality for you and I about being a woman and also growing up in the church. Like, there's even
Mhm.
more of that. Like, you're not supposed to have like material things. You're not supposed to do that. You're
Right.
supposed to give
Right.
and give and give
Right.
and give. But it's not wrong to also want something for yourself. And you don't actually have to have a reason other than just, I want it. And you're not making an irresponsible fiscal decision, right? Like, as long as you can afford that and that's something that
It's a
makes you
different
feel
that exactly. Yeah.
yeah, like
Yeah.
really proud of yourself. It's I had a similar experience where I was like, once I get an assistant principal job, like I went to school, like got my type 75, technically could be a principal anywhere now. I'm like, when I get an AP job, I will buy myself these like Louboutins. And I know it's so silly because it's like I don't really need them. I don't really wear nice shoes. Like I don't really dress up or go out, but they were like very practical. Like one was a wedge and one was like a plain black boot, which I would wear all the time. And
Yeah.
I'm like, even that, like, why did I feel like I needed to be practical? Like, if I just wanted to buy something, but
Right.
but that's still very me. I'm like, if I'm gonna spend a large purchase, I do want to be able to wear it all the time or use it a lot. Never did it for myself. Now, I didn't actually end up taking an AP job, but I make probably around as much as I would make as an AP now. And so it's like I wonder why I never feel like I have arrived or like I've made it. I'm like, oh no, like I still need to do more. I still need to work more. I guess I kind of always feel like I'm struggling
Even though
in
we're
the
not.
sense, yeah.
I know.
It's interesting.
All the
I'm just
time.
like thinking out loud now when you say that. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Well, I happen to know there's a Louis Vuitton store in Chicago because I bought my wedding shoes there. So because I own two ridiculous pair of heels from them that I don't need, but that I bought for my wedding and then our 1 year wedding thing. And I own a pair of sneakers from there I wear all the time. I wore them this weekend. Great. Some of their shit's super uncomfortable. Don't recommend.
Yeah.
Some's very comfortable. Good investment. It's also not, it's expensive, but it's not like
Yeah.
you have that. So I think you should walk yourself over there and go get them in the next X amount of months because it's a fun experience. You feel fancy, it's nice in there. Like,
Yeah.
and I think it's like, yeah, treat yourself, you know?
Yeah. I do think though that I like this idea, like what you said, if I can like take one like actionable step for everyone, that's listening, is like pick the thing that you want, right? Is it the vacation? Is it the Louboutin? Is it the Chanel bag? Is it a week off work that maybe like you don't have?
Yeah.
Like what is the
Or like
thing,
a
right?
new appliance that would make you so happy because it make your life easier, or like a fun
Yeah.
outdoor toy or something for your
Yeah.
car. I don't know.
Totally. I've been really, I spent the weekend in Michigan last weekend. There was a hot tub, and I'm like, I actually like may need a hot tub. Like, I may need that because
Yeah.
it was just so
I love
delightful.
it.
Like, I felt like it just felt like really cool and extravagant, and also like I don't know, just like sexy, like to have like this hot
Hmm.
tub and like the things that can also like the mood it can set just in a
Hmm.
relationship and just the end of a hot long day at work with a glass of something. Anyway, so all that to say, I think this idea of picking the thing, the experience, whatever it is, and then saying quantifying that, right? Like let's take it a step further. Don't just say like I want the trip to Greece or like I want the Chanel
No,
bag.
like how much
I
is
need
that? What does that look like?
$6,000. I need
Yeah.
whatever it is. And then I think it becomes a little bit easier to figure out what the next step is then. Okay, if I
Right.
need $6,000, that means this is X amount of shifts per year, or X amount of extra, jobs I have to pick up, or I need this much, so I need to save this much. That means I can't
Right.
do these other things, right? So
Endless
then I think
Amazon shirts I don't need to buy that are just pointless and
exactly.
taking my money and I can put it towards this or whatever else.
Exactly. Or like, did I need to go grocery shopping like 3 times last week, or could I have planned better and done like a week's long? You know what I mean? And then like just really been intentional about the things I use. So I think it's all about like you might not be able to have it all, but if you are smart and intentional, and just like planning it out a little bit better, I think we can have more than we think.
Yeah, and really putting that out as like a challenge to the universe, right? Like I need
Yeah.
12 grand to show up. Where is it going to happen? And again, it's not like you just sit around and do nothing, but
Yeah.
I bet you opportunities will come that you weren't
Yeah.
expecting because you're open to them. It's like when you break up with someone and you're suddenly single and everyone calls you all of a sudden and talks to you and you're like, what's happening? But your energy is different. You're not, like nothing, you didn't say anything, but like people feel that. So put it out there like abundance. And again, I love that theme of like money is a renewable resource. There's always more of it to be had. There just is. So it's like it's deep and it's not that deep. So like and it's really like investing in our own worth and our own happiness and how
Yeah.
we imagine and it doesn't always have to be these like big purchase things. Like it could be something more I want to pay off all my credit card debt. I want to pay my mortgage down. I want to like be able to upgrade our AC system. Like put those requests out there and then be open to the channels that can come to get there. Because when we have a limited mindset, we're going to stay limited, regardless of what's it about. And I think, especially as we're entering the new year and the holiday season, like really that abundance, not scarcity. And I'm not trying to be dense. Like, I understand it's a tough time. I know there's a lot going on in the world. I know some folks aren't getting paid at the moment. I know things are expensive and whatever else. And like, let's be honest about where we're starting from. And it doesn't mean we can't keep dreaming and growing and planning because circumstances are always fluid and they're only as powerful as we allow them to be. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, super true. Super true. It's given me a lot of things that I want to think about and like be a little bit more intentional about.
love it. All right. Any other thoughts, feelings, questions?
No, I don't think so. I think my big thing is I'm gonna write down the amount I need for. I'm gonna decide what it is first. I think it's gonna be the Greece trip, but I've even just been like looking at jobs lately and thinking about like, well, how much would I need to make more than I make now in order to afford that Greece trip in a year? Like, I think that's even something, right? That I can
Yep.
that feels a little bit more actionable, even when I'm like looking for that job, right? Like maybe I
Yeah.
don't need as much more as I think I do in order to be able to like afford that. So yeah, I feel like this has been really helpful. Thank you. I'm walking away with like an action that doesn't feel like really large. It feels like doable, and I think for me, I need those because I just am not in a place in my life where like I can take on this big lift of something, you know?
No, and we're tired. It's like hibernation time as we're entering into the new season. But I'll link the book. It's really good.
Yeah. I have the other one, just like the You Are a Badass one. So I was excited when you posted that. I'm like, oh, interesting. Like this
Yeah,
idea of
this
how
one.
that applies to you financially.
Yeah, and if you've read her other books, she's very easy to read and like it feels like you're talking to
Yeah,
someone.
it's an easy read. I like that about her because it's like I don't have time for any of these like fucking self-help books that are like too cerebral. I'm like,
No.
stop. Just give me things I can do.
Yes, yes. And she feels normal. Like she also is like, I don't know what I'm doing. I was broke once. Like she's not like Beyonce wrote us this book or I don't know, some other Nepo baby that you're like, well, of course you did it because your daddy is whoever. Like she
Yeah.
seems like a normal chick who figured it out and is sharing
Yeah.
her info. So,
We love that.
yeah. All right. Well, we'll see you soon. There'll be only a couple this month, but hope this was helpful and we'll talk to you soon.
Everyone